In today's video, we talk about how much sodium you should take in.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. Happy Monday. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend and are planning for a wonderful week ahead. Lots of good stuff going on here at ProPhysique headquarters. We are about to move into the new office and gym. Days away. I'm just waiting for the air conditioner to be finished installed. Move some stuff in there, so I'll be documenting that as much as possible for you guys. Hopefully you'll enjoy that process. But today's video, I wanted to do another typical video where I kind of discuss a question that I get quite frequently from clients. And that is, what should we do with sodium? Sodium is another trigger term that gets a response from just about everybody. If you go to your mom, if you go to your cousin, if you go to someone at the gym, everyone's gonna have an opinion on sodium, and rightfully so, because there's a lot of research and there's a lot of information about sodium out there. So first things first, before you listen to anything I have to say, if you have a doctor, listen to your doctor, okay? I'm not here to circumvent health. What I'm here to discuss is possible fear of sodium that doesn't need to be in place. You see, there's a lot of fear of sodium, and I think part of it, as far as a weight loss in a bodybuilding culture, is that a lot of coaches remove sodium and seasonings from a diet, and I don't think they know why. I think they fear sodium. They hear the term sodium and they think if you take in sodium, you're gonna hold water. Well, that's true, because sodium helps regulate water levels in your body. So by restricting sodium, your body will downregulate and it will still maintain the same water balance, but just doing so on a lower sodium intake. Meaning, if you take in 1,500 milligrams of sodium a day all the time, you will keep the same water balance as if you take in 4,000 milligrams of sodium a day all the time. You see, your body will adjust to these levels. However, the person taking 1,500 milligrams a day, if they go out to dinner to a restaurant and they have 4, 5, 6,000 milligrams of sodium in a meal, because when you eat out, fast food, any type of food that's prepared, it's usually really heavily sodium laden, they're gonna get a crazier response because you will get some temporary fluid retention. This isn't because sodium's bad. This is because sodium is very, very, very tightly monitored by your body, right? Sodium is responsible for a lot of the electrical impulses in our body, and so our heart being a muscle, the body is very careful to regulate sodium, okay? So by restricting sodium, you're not really changing anything in your body other than its response to sodium. So what do I usually recommend? Well, I generally recommend starting with around 3,500 to 4,000 milligrams of sodium a day. Now, for people that are very active and sweat, or they're in a humid environment and they're constantly training, I can see a reason for a lot more than that, okay? I have athletes that have actually reported over 10 grams of sodium a day, or 10,000 milligrams of sodium a day, associated with their nutrition and their training and their recovery, and they feel great and they maintain their weight and they maintain their fluid balance on that 10 grams of sodium, okay? Now, am I suggesting that you go out and up your sodium that much? No. But what I would like you to do is, if you're restricting sodium, question why, okay? Do you have a kidney disease? If you don't have a kidney disease, then your body's pretty good at regulating that on its own, okay? You don't need to be super strict. Do you have high blood pressure? No? Then you probably don't need to be restricting sodium, okay? Sodium increases blood volume. So if you're going to the gym and you take a pre-workout, a lot of them have a bunch of sodium in them because blood volume increases blood through your body, hydrates it better, makes your pumps better. That's right. So a nice little trick you can do if you want to try it is just taking a bunch of sodium an hour before you go to the gym and just watch how great you feel. A lot of people will report crazy vascularity after they compete or after a diet when they go out to eat, and they assume it's all the carbs and the water, and while that's a part of it, sodium is very important for transporting glucose to your cells. What does glucose become? It becomes glycogen when it's stored in the muscles. So it's important for transporting. So if you're restricting sodium when you're loading carbohydrates, let's say for a bodybuilding show, you might not get the benefit of taking those carbohydrates in because they're not being transported properly. So again, I'm not advocating a crazy high sodium diet. I'm simply stating that if you're a healthy individual who's training vigorously, you might do better on a higher sodium approach than sticking to the RDA's recommended total of about 23 to 2400 milligrams a day. It's somewhere in that range. I'm not really sure where they stand currently, but that was the last time I checked. So again, outside of medical issues with kidneys, blood pressure, whatever it may be, doctor's orders, don't fear sodium. Now, if you're in a contest prep and you're eating a consistent diet every day, don't start loading a bunch of sodium into your plan because you will see an increase on the scale and that may mess with your head. Instead, try just lightly salting a meal here or there, or adding some sodium in pre-workout. One little trick you can do is, pickles. Pickles are basically almost 0 calories and they're loaded with sodium. I think one pickle is about 400 milligrams of sodium depending on the size and, all that stuff. So you can simply have a pickle or 2 pickles an hour before you go to the gym. Drink your water, see how your pump is and how you respond. It can help stay hydrated. It can help keep your training sessions better and of a higher quality. So again, my goal here is just to kind of start the conversation, understand that you don't need to fear sodium, that for people that are taking in a lot of sodium on a regular basis, that's their maintenance level, okay? And for someone like a client of mine like George Rosado, who reported to me that he was on 17 grams of sodium a day, and I know that sounds crazy, but when I looked at his food log and asked why it was so high, he's a very, very good recipe maker of flexible diets. So he was using a lot of ingredients that were crazy high in sodium, like I think the highest one was like no fat or low fat cream cheese. That had a ton of sodium. And then you also crave salt the leaner you get. That's been my experience with myself and other individuals. So I actually started using hot sauce when I was dieting, which I'm not a hot sauce person like by nature, but I started putting hot sauce on everything and I just enjoyed it better, and soy sauce and things like this that are really high sodium. So it is possible to get a really high sodium. Now, one thing I'll notice about someone like George that was on 17 grams of sodium a day is that, let's say he dropped down to 12, he would drop 3 or 4 pounds of weight because he would lose some water weight associated with that. Again, because sodium helps balance our fluid levels. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me today. It's a Monday. Tomorrow I have a presentation on how to build an online coaching business at USF. It's for my strength and conditioning class. Dr. Campbell has given me the opportunity to do this, and I'm excited about it. And hopefully somebody shows up for class and they don't all skip it because I'm talking. I'm going to ask Dr. Campbell if it's okay to film it. Don't know when I'll get it out. I'll bring my camera and equipment and hopefully all goes well. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm going to get a video out before class, but that video should be soon to follow. And again, my home gym, Rogue equipment, filled, is going to be going up in the next, I want to say week, man. Like, we're close. Lots of big changes happening here in Tampa. You guys have an awesome Monday, and I'll talk to you soon.